okay, let's assume Trump wins or Biden wins. Will there be a peaceful transfer from the incoming administration or vice versa?
Yeah. Look, regardless of the result, I do not believe that there will be violence.
Okay.
I mean, even in Florida, which was a very heated situation in 2000, and which went on for about 6 or 7 weeks, there wasn't really any street clashes. There were a little bit of pushing and shoving down in Miami-Dade, but there wasn't an exchange of gunfire. It wasn't like there was the Republicans over there shooting at the Democrats and vice versa. So I don't like this talk about there being not a peaceful transfer. Yes, of course there'll be a peaceful transfer. I think the chances of us having a result on election day is very likely. People keep saying it's going to get dragged out and it's, we won't know who's going to win. I think it'll be over, and I think it'll all be fine. Now look, let's say I'm wrong. How could this not be the case? Well, let's say it is a really, really, really close election, and let's say we don't have one Florida 2000. Let's say we've got 7 of them. Let's say we've got 7 states where there's massive disputes going on, and legal challenges and street violence turns into scuffles, turns into gunshots. Okay. I think it wouldn't take long for that situation to calm down very quickly. People would be shocked by it. And so I think it's just this talk of civil war as being a non-peaceful transfer. I just can't see how that could happen in the real world. And I think that it's irresponsible, and I think it's largely coming from the Democrats because they're wanting to create a sense of crisis around Trump. That's what they're wanting to create, a sense of, he's an authoritarian, and he's, and there's just chaos always around him. That's where I think this is coming from.
Do they realise that fear generally, they taught me this, that fear generally helps the Conservative candidate?
Yeah, right. Good point, yeah.
No, look, I do disagree. I think there's going to be some significant... If it was... Look, I think we might both agree on this, actually. If it was going to happen, it's going to happen this election. Never have we seen such an establishment in the intelligence agencies. Look at the last 4 years, what's happened. Or even... Look at Brexit. 4 years to get anything done on that. That was a phenomenal debacle. A vote was had. It was done. That was meant to be it. Yet they had to have 2 more votes. They had a vote for the MEPs, where the Brexit party won overwhelmingly, pretty much all the seats. And then we had a situation where they had to, once again, win an 80-seat majority. And still they're having issues. I don't know. It might not be civil war, but what's the definition of civil war? Not necessarily shooting in the streets, but maybe it's an incoming administration having problems with the past administration, as the past administration spies on them or leaves landmines.
Well, there's been massive harassment against Trump. The Democrats did not accept the result of the last election. One of the pillars of democracy is the concept of the loser's consent. The loser of an election needs to wish the winner of an election all the best, and to say, well, the people didn't choose me, but the more important than me is the country. The Democrats did not have that attitude at the last election, and so they've just been undermining Trump from the very, very beginning, and it's been shocking. And it's going to, at some point, there will be a backlash against it. Yeah,
and last few thoughts, but let's not forget Hillary Clinton's, what she said at the DNC. She said, under no circumstances should Joe Biden concede. That's right. That's a big call. Even if he loses big time, that's a big call. And also...
That just tells us what's in Hillary's heart.
Exactly.
She is a political extremist.
Yeah.
I'm not saying an ideological extremist, but she's a political extremist. When she said that, she said, no matter what happens, Joe, never concede. Exactly. Never concede. And then she's got her campaign manager from 2016 in the background saying, yeah. These people are wild people. They're dangerous people.
Yeah.
And I thought that was appalling what Hillary Clinton said, but at least it was very honest.
Yeah, and it was honest. And also John Podesta with the war games that happened, where he suggested that the western states like California should secede from the Union in the event that there's a Trump victory or on paper. Predicting, you should look at these war games. I reference it in my article. It's very fascinating how they sat down for, retired governors of the Republican side and the Democrat side. A lot of rhinos among the Republicans in name only. They came out and they said, but did these war games, and in every situation they war gamed it of the different outcomes of the election, they found violence would break out in the streets. And John Podesta played Joe Biden in that situation, and yeah, it didn't look great. I hope I'm wrong. I'm not here for the popcorn and the views. I'm here to learn some lessons from my own country. But I'm very worried. Like, do you watch TV shows? I know it's a strange question.
If I'm watching TV, I'm usually watching the news.
Okay, see, I'm the same, because there is no TV show larger than this one. You know,
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I said this to a mutual friend, Roscoe, and I said to him, Ross, you don't watch TV shows, does he? And he's like, no, I don't. I was like, I think I know why that is, and it's because you watch. I play video games. I when I have time, and I watch TV shows that are larger than life. Find me something that's larger than life here. Not even how House of Cards is as large as this in the storyline. So I thought that would be interesting.
If you're into politics just for the theatre, what you're saying is there is no better theatre than US presidential politics.
Yeah.
No question about it. Okay?
Yeah.
But of course it has real world consequences. And so we're interested in it. We want politics to be a means of delivering a better world for the next generation.
Yeah. John, did you have any